Hello guys, Ricardo Teixeira here and welcome back to another video. In today's video we will be testing Red Dead Redemption, the original game, with our Intel i7 8600 from 1st gen with NVIDIA GTX 960. 2GB model launched all the way back in 2015. We'll be using the latest NVIDIA drivers as the recording of this video. So let's see if we can still play with this system. We'll start at 1080p high settings, preset, and let's see if the game manages. If you can give the good frame rate. Starting as the game, we are having an average of 63 frames per second. That it's actually quite good, more than I was expecting really, with 1% lows in the house of the 45. For a system this old, this is an old game also, I think it's a quite good experience in my opinion. Hovering around here, the rooftop, having a good clear view of the town, 60s. I was expecting way worse visuals since this is a PS3, Xbox 360 game era. It's not a UE5 title by any means, but I think they did a pretty good job. But now let's see outside of the city how the game manages. I don't know if you can see it well, but we are averaging 65, 66 frames per second with an average of 62 and a 1% lows in the house of the 41. We are in the open world area now, a lot more stuff to render, and I think the system is hanging quite well. If you have this system, you can still definitely play without any concern and be a cowboy in the Red Dead Redemption. Quite a good experience in my opinion. I would definitely have no problems playing like this, but we still have more options if you want a higher frame rate. So let's try 1080p median settings if we can get a little bit boost. Now we are averaging, sorry, I didn't reset the counter still, but we are in the house of the 80 frames per second, 81, 70s, high 80s. Now I reset the counter. We are having an average of 79 frames per second with 1% lows in the house of the 62, 63. Not bad. If you want more than 60 frames per second all the time, this is the settings to go. In my opinion, personally, I will go with high settings because I don't mind being this single player title and all. Having a little less frames but better image quality. But still, median settings, quite a really good experience. Look at that sunset. Very well made. I'm impressed. Actually, I have never played this game before. This is my first time playing it, actually. And for a game that it's this old, it's very well made. The animations of the horses are quite good. I'm impressed, but we still have some more options to test. And let's see 1080p with low settings to see the numbers that we can have. Now we are averaging 94 frames per second with the 1% lows in the house of the huge spike there, 72, 73 frames per second. The game is quite stable. We had that spike there, but I don't recall having that many spikes on the frame time. That was that noticeable, at least. It was a real stable experience so far. You could definitely have fun with this game, no question asked. Even though it is an old system, totally fine playing it like this. And I can see a little bit of CPU bottleneck now. Just got my attention now. 61% of the GTX 960 being used, but we still have another option. Let's try 1080p ultra settings. We'll have definitely high impact now in our performance, but let's see how it does. Now we are averaging 54 frames per second. I'm going to skip and then reset the counter again, but we are now having 48, 50s, well, we are hanging around in the high 40s and low 50s, with an average of 51 FPS on average, and 1% lows in the house of the 34, 35. It's still playable, but I would not play with these settings. I would prefer to play with high settings. We will have a still pretty good image quality, a much smoother experience, averaging almost all the time 60 frames per second. That's at least the ideal to play these types of games, but if you want, you could still use ultra settings. But now there's a catch. While trying to going up again the resolution, I was trying to go to 1440p, but then I got this error. Being a 2GB graphics card, we ran out of VRAM, and you could still have this message while playing. But this is the end of the video for today. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.